So about a year ago, we didn't know what to do. We were lost. We didn't know where to turn, what to do. We really needed help. We were just hopeful for a good job, for a new beginning, for something just fresh, something new.
For Jonathan and Cindy Zepeda, 2012 was a year filled with a lot of uncertainty. But trying to find a new job wasn't the only concern they were facing.
We ended up getting married in that period that I was without a job in February. And by May, we ended up getting pregnant. So when we came here not knowing, how everything worked, we thought, they were gonna say no to us because we were thinking there's a lot of regulations, a lot of rules. Everything has to go through a certain way. The receptionist and women's health, Mari was just there with a big smile, and she's like, "Oh, how can I help you?" I'm like, "Oh, well, she's pregnant, so we want to see, if we can be seen here and what is it that we need to do." And she's like, "Okay, so let me just help you fill out some paperwork." And she was very informative, she explained every little detail.
In addition to finding quality care, Jonathan was worried about not being able to be at Cindy's side throughout times in the care process, as Cindy is primarily a Spanish speaker and relies on him for help with translating. But they were both relieved when they realized that Mari and most of the staff were bilingual.
Patients need a team to take care of them. No one person, no one provider, midwife or physician can be in all places at all times. The team needs to be, you need to communicate with one another to be able to get the right level of care. We need to have it all guided by what the patient's needs are.
She's like, "You know what, you don't worry, we're here." It was funny, I was pretty much on the side. They wouldn't really, so she wouldn't talk to me, she would talk to her, which I liked because she was meeting her needs, which was very important at that moment. It wasn't so much about me, it was about her and the baby.
And every kind of question, doubt that I have, for me, they help me. They help me a lot.
To feel welcomed and to feel like that sense of relief, like I'm going to be able to take care of my pregnancy, I'm going to be able to be delivered safely, and I'm going to be able to have my baby followed. And it's just, I think that's just a great sense of relief, and that's really important because sometimes it's such a time of uncertainty that if you don't have a place where you can go and get that warm, welcoming smile and feel like, I know now the steps I need to take. This is the beginning of this journey.
This is the heart behind an organization-wide initiative, Building Great Relationships, or BGR, which is more than just an attitude. It's about making sure every patient feels welcomed, like family, with each NCHS team member strategically placed to provide the best patient care possible.
But it was nice to see how everybody was just happy, and just the girls at the front end, just having that good vibe, that smile, that great customer service. And that's something that I always like. So I remember when I left, I told my wife, "Oh, maybe I should look into maybe here if there's no job opening." So I remember going to the website, and when I saw that it was for the Patient Navigation Center, I really got excited because that's something that I really did want. There was a way that I could help the person go through the call, go through directing them, sending them wherever it is that they need, wherever department they wanted to go. That to me is something that I always looked for as far as customer service wise. It's very important to me personally, make that person feel comfortable. Not that it's my job, it's just like if it was a friend, a family. And so that really, to me later on, it's like, okay, I think I'm good for the position.
BGR isn't only about relationships with patients, but each other as staff members and anyone who interfaces with NCHS.
After the training that we had, I shared my experience of how I got here and how that my wife was still pregnant. And I remember from that day on, everybody would see me down the hall and they're like, "Oh, how's your wife? Oh, how's everything? How?" And that meant a lot to me. It really did, because it made me feel welcome. It made me feel like, like a big family. We were so happy with just the service of the midwives and how they were towards her.
Well, for me, they were like my mothers.
Having experienced a great pregnancy, now Jonathan and Cindy were looking to transition from prenatal care to pediatric care.
Setting up the appointments and everything, it really did help us, because that transition to now, okay, now we're used to her being pregnant. Now it's like, okay, what do we do with the child? Where do we go? What are we gonna, how are we gonna do everything? And they pretty much took over. They're like, okay, they have the appointment set up, everything. That helped us because we were going, in our minds we were going crazy, trying to find out how is it that we're gonna, do it with this little guy. It wasn't just, show up to this appointment, do this, do that. It was preparing her, more her to be a mother. And also for myself to be parents, but it was more towards her. Classes, classes for breastfeeding, Lamaze, every little steps, child development, early stages.
The team-based care approach is more than just having an abundance of providers, but activating and engaging the patient in their care.
It was interesting for us coming from a place where we didn't know how they were going to treat us, having that great patient care for my wife and my child.
Now things are looking up for the Cepeda family, and Jonathan is excited to give back because of BGR and the great care that he and his family received at NCHS.
Now my child is also a patient. Now I'm an employee. I can also give something back to the people, to the community. I know what it is to be on the other side of that booth or on that other side of the phone, and it can be nerve-wracking. You don't know how they're going to treat you, but I can also make it like a good, positive way and help them see the great people that work behind NCHS, how they really have that set of mind that everybody's a community here, everybody's a family.
I think this family is just an example of that, of feeling really welcome, embraced, and guided along to a great outcome. Couldn't be better.
Just overall, just happy we're very grateful. We're very grateful for everything that's been going on for us this year.